This is a 1997 Jeep Cherokee, the XJ series. And one of the easiest things to do for maintenance is to change the air filter, which is inside this box right here. This is on the left side of the engine compartment. Left is always the driver's side. You always, the reference direction is always as if you're sitting in the driver's seat. So if you're sitting in the driver's seat, the left side of the car is on your side, the driver's side. This is on the left side of the engine compartment directly behind the radiator cap. And to change the air filter, it's going to take you only a couple minutes. This hose has to come off. This intake manifold hose has to come off. And there are 3 clips that are on the box. It's on the box lid, 2 on the right side, 1 on the back side. I'll take these hoses off first. The intake manifold hose has this clip on it, which is actually pretty easy. You want to clip onto this bit here, clamp onto it. I like to use a pair of locking pliers and tilt it back, and that will release its grip. There we go. Then you can just move that, push the hose off, wiggle that one off, move it to the side, and then the clips, just use a big screwdriver, pry them out. There are 3. Okay, all good. This box lid tilts to the left, so the right side will come up like that. So we have to just make sure this air intake hose is not in the way, and just lift up on the lid. And then you can wiggle it out of there. Check the underside. This side looks nice and clean, and that's good because the air comes, here's the filter. The air comes into the box below the filter, passes up through the filter, and then out this part into the intake manifold. So look at the bottom of the filter. This one's actually not in bad shape, but it has been a while since I replaced it, so I'm going to give it a new one. If the bottom of this box is disgusting, clean it out. If you have leaf litter or the squirrels have been piling up walnuts down there or something, clean it out. It's a good idea to give it a wipe down. This one has some stuff that would be a little more difficult to get off. It's pretty baked on what's left in there, so I'm not going to be too worried about it. The filter I got is this one. I don't have any particular interest in wicks. They seem to be decent filters, but I'll put a link to that filter in the description, at least to get you going in the right direction. The cool side, the one with the folds, goes down. The metal screen goes on the top side. Now, you see the holes over here on the side of the lid. Those are slots for tabs that are on this side of the bottom of the box. Just make sure those go in there. This intake manifold hose is probably going to get in the way. I just have to move it out of the way a little bit. Snap the clips back on. Put this hose back in place. Give this a squeeze, and then channel locks would probably be the best choice for tightening that. I like to give it a squeeze a little bit beyond what I do by hand, just a click or 2. There we go, 1 click, and that's nice and on there. So this one, you wiggled it off, wiggle it back on, and then there's only one thing left to do, and that is to do yourself a favor. Put a note on the box. You can write it right on the box if you wanted to. You could use stickers. I use labels. I use labels on lots and lots of things. I'll put a link in the description to the label maker that I use. Again, just a place to get started. One thing with the label makers, I always buy off-brand labels. label cartridges. They're a whole lot cheaper and they work just as well. So I'll put a link to the label maker and the label cartridges. And that's it.